Hey, what's up, you guys, and welcome to a Coffee Break podcast. I am your host, Melissa.
And I'm your co-host, Elisa. How y'all doing? We also have our amazing guest, Tamika,
Tammie, all the teas, just all the teas.
Tammie. Y'all remember her from Tattoos and Batman?
Batman.
From one of y'all's second favorite
We just loved her so much, we had to have her back.
Mm-hmm. She loved us so much, she wanted to be back.
Very true. Very true.
Yes. For those of you who don't know the Coffee Break podcast, Tamika, you want to tell them what we are?
It's a podcast.
Don't put her on the spot like that.
Okay,
she knows.
I
She
know.
knows.
So it's a podcast that's supposed to be similar to having coffee with a friend or a coworker. It's supposed to be easy to listen to, something that's fun to listen to, and if you pee your pants from laughing, then we're really doing our jobs here, aren't we?
See, right there. That's our new intro. Yeah, that's the new intro. See, thank you. We also do a coffee of the day segment. You know, that's the only thing she forgot. But you know what?
Well, it's because I have coffee every day.
That's true. That's true.
I have coffee every day.
Where we give you that fun fact about that one special coffee. And today's special coffee is what is it? I got confused.
It's so elusive.
Sorry, I got confused.
We couldn't even remember what it was.
It's called apple cider latte.
Okay.
Have you guys ever tried that before?
No.
I've had apple cider, and then I've had lattes, but never
together. Yeah. So I was looking this up, like fall drinks, and a lot of people apparently are really into like the apple cider latte. And I was just thinking about this the other day. I was like, I love apple cider, but I always want to know if like they made a drink out of it, because in Disneyland or California Adventures they have like a apple cider float, and they have one alcoholic, and then they have one that's also coffee.
Can I get the alcoholic one?
Yeah.
I love that.
And they put a scoop of vanilla ice cream on top of it.
Oh, heck
Yes.
yeah, I'm about that.
Booze and ice cream? Like, can
Yes.
we? Booze and ice cream.
So excited for that. So how to make your own apple cider latte. You're going to make your favorite coffee. So whatever coffee you want, whether it's from Starbucks or from the store or just in your friend's backyard. Why do they have coffee in your friend's backyard? I don't know. That's for you to figure out. You get your favorite apple cider. I like the one that's at Bond's because they got good apple cider. They only have it like in September and mid-October, and then they never sell it again.
Wow.
And it makes me upset. What's the name of it? I don't know. My mom gets it for me.
Very, very helpful. Very helpful information.
Cool.
Yes. Or you can get the apple cider from Julian's.
Yes.
Put that with it.
Never had
There you
it.
go.
What?
I've never had
How
it.
do you live in San Diego
Wow.
and never have cider from Julian?
Tammy, do you want to go on a road trip with us?
Yes.
Yes.
I've never
and
even
vlog
had
it.
their pie.
Julian.
Like, I've never even gone over there to have their
Yeah,
Julian.
we're going to do that. So you take your apple cider that
From
you
Julian.
love from Julian and your favorite coffee from your friend's backyard.
Yep.
You mix them together, and I suggest with your apple cider, you put it in a crock pot and you put cinnamon sticks into it and you let it sit and brew overnight. Oh, it adds a good like taste to it. It's really good. So you're not just putting like cinnamon chunks on top of it. It's actually cinnamon sticks that's been what's it called?
I like that.
like
Stewing into
Yeah.
it. Yeah, stewing in cauldron.
Cauldron.
I know. I'll make him love me. So you mix them together. You combine half a cup of milk or whatever milk, like almond milk, Tammie. We can give you almond milk.
Why would you do that?
She's
Why would you bring that up?
allergic to it.
Why would you bring that up? You know, we're going to tell this story of how you tried to kill me. Stay tuned.
Stay tuned. I'll tell you how I almost killed our guest here. So after you combine the cup of milk and then you put the certain amount of sugar that you want, whether it's a tablespoon of it or a whole bag of sugar into it, well, you're just defeating the purpose. And you add whipped cream, put some cinnamon cloves and some other spices that you like, and voila. You got yourself a apple cider latte.
Love it. Sounds amazing.
And I want to try that.
Yeah.
So that's our next vlog.
There you go. There you go.
We have a list of like coffees we actually have to make. Honestly,
Yeah,
so
for real.
many. We're going to get to it.
There's just only so many hours in a day, and there is such thing as caffeine overdose. So, you know.
There is.
Dangers.
I mean,
Yeah.
Dangers.
I mean, if we just like
don't overdo it.
I know. What if we just share 1 cup? All of us just share 1 cup. That's not overdosing on it.
It depends. If you take 1 sip and she takes 1 sip and I just chug it, then then
the next one she chugs it, we take a sip, and then the next one I chug it.
It just turns into roulette. Just
yeah.
Who's chugging? Who's chugging? Oh goodness.
Yeah, that's our coffee of the day segment. Go try it out with your bad self.
Now, can we just like rewind really quickly to you trying to kill me? This is like my favorite thing.
It was an accident.
How is it an accident if you know that it would kill me? So, for those of you who aren't attuned to my dietary needs, I am allergic to tree nuts, which a lot of people try to say that like peanuts are tree nuts, but actually peanuts are legumes.
Yeah.
Hold that.
I didn't
Hold that.
know any
So
of
like,
this.
well, like, so people are always just like, oh my god, you can't have tree nuts, so you can't have peanuts. And I'm like, first of all, stop. Wait a second. Peanuts are not even nuts. They're legumes. Look it up. And I can't have tree nuts. So it's like almonds, walnuts, macadamia nuts. So we go in, we're making coffee, and she's like, you have to try this creamer. It's amazing. It's macadamia nut creamer. And I was like, so we're trying to kill me. She's like, never mind. I don't want to kill you. Here, have some almond milk. That'll be great. And I'm like, so we're trying to kill me. So, you know.
It was
Death.
like
story.
back to back too.
Death.
It wasn't like just like, oh, this happened
Death.
one day and then this happened the next day.
No,
It was like back
to back. So essentially what I'm hearing is never to let you make me coffee.
Yeah.
Because you're going to be like, here, try this. And I'm just going to go.
No, see, you can trust me with just the coffee part. Don't trust me with milk or flavoring. Just don't do that. Because sometimes I forget. Like, if once I'm out of work, I'm like, I don't worry about nut allergies. Because I'm like, I'm not around kids. I don't care.
Yeah.
And I forget Tammie, so.
Well, I am
She's
not a
allergic.
kid. So
She's not a
obviously.
kid, so I was like, she grown up. She knows what she needs and wants. What she can't have.
And your girl
Sorry.
does not like nuts. So
She
there
doesn't
you go.
Except for her boyfriend. What?
Whoa! Oh my god!
Too far? I didn't think so.
I mean,
Okay.
I really hope he listens to this, baby. I love you. I love you so much. I didn't bring up your nuts. She did. Just saying. Don't let the little one listen to this.
In respect.
She's respectfully talking about your nuts.
Okay.
Anyway.
Talking about
our topic of today. We're gonna be talking about scary movies.
Our top 3 scary
our top 3
movies.
scary movies. Do you want to start, Tammie, or do you want to start?
Guess first.
I can start. So I'm one of those people who's like, I enjoy a scary movie, but also I am extremely terrified of scary movies. So I have to like watch the trailer, and then I'm like, how many hours of sleep do I actually need to function this week? Because that'll determine whether or not I watch it.
Yeah.
So for my top 3, I did The Strangers, I did The Grudge, and then I did Dawn of the Dead. Those are like my top 3, and I highly recommend them. They're great movies.
Okay.
Oh, are we saying why?
I mean,
Yeah,
yeah.
Do you wanna go? Oh, okay.
Go into that.
So
Just don't give out the whole movie spoiler.
Just a small synopsis.
okay.
Yeah.
Just for people who...
A synopsis?
Synopsis.
Synopsis.
She's like, synapses, and I was like, what's firing my brain? Biology jokes, guys. Biology jokes. So with The Strangers,
Girl, coughing
Sorry, I'm sorry.
germs are the first killer, guys. Okay,
Wash your
so
hands.
with The Strangers, the reason why I find that extremely scary is it's based on a true story, and it's about this couple that goes out to a house, and it's after a wedding, and the man like proposed to the woman. Spoiler alert, she said no. It's really awkward.
Oh my god.
And she's like in this house by herself, and then these people just decide to terrorize her and her husband, tried to terrorize her. And the reason why it's so crazy is the way that they have the camera is you can see that the people have access to get into the house, and she doesn't know. So there's this amazing scene where Liv Tyler, who plays the main woman, is like sitting in the kitchen with her back facing the door, and she's like smoking a cigarette, and in the background there's just a man with like a burlap sack over his face, and he's just standing there, doesn't make any sounds, and it's like it just plays on the fear of like, what do you really know when people are in your house when you're by yourself? So it freaked me out because I also watched it when I was house sitting. So it's just not the best time to watch it.
No, probably
Not the best
not.
time to watch it. And then The Grudge is... I watched the American version. I do not have the balls to watch the Japanese version because...
Don't do it.
It's always crazy. Like, just all of those films, like Korean films, Japanese films, all insane. That's why I, like, pull my eyes out.
Scary.
I can't do it.
Yeah.
So I watched the American version of The Grudge with Sarah Michelle Gellar. Buffy, if you love Buffy.
Yeah.
And I think the reason why that one was scary, that one I didn't sleep for like a week. And it was so terrifying to me because it's the idea that when bad things happen in your household, it taints your household. And then anyone who came into the household was then cursed just because they entered the household. And it just kept spreading everywhere. And there's no way to kill it. It's a house. It's a memory.
Yeah.
And so
Burn
it's like,
it?
how do you... Well, I mean, you can burn the house, but like the entity is still there because it's not the house that's holding the entity. It's the fact that it happened within that household. And then, you know, you have like The Grudge 2 and The Grudge 3 where it like travels to the United States and it clings to the person instead of clinging to the house. So that's what made it really terrifying to me.
I didn't know that part.
And then most people know it because it's that
Why
girl
don't
with her
they?
hair completely covering her face. And she makes that weird like sound. It's like the and it's just really creepy.
It's creepy.
It's so creepy.
Even the little
And there's
voice
like
creepy.
and there's like sounds like it'll be like over your phone or you'll hear it like out and about and she'll just appear and it's just terrifying. And then Dawn of the Dead, I love Dawn of the Dead because one of the first movies that had zombies that ran, which I thought was really realistic because if you think about the idea of zombies and the fact that they are fueled by the need to feed, they don't feel fatigued, they don't get tired, they don't feel pain, so why would they not run? Like, it just doesn't make any sense. Like, why would they walk slowly? They're not going to get tired. So it just was insane to me, the idea that you can't just walk away from the slow zombie who's just like, I'm gonna eat you. Like, no, this zombie's like, listen,
I'm gonna get
you look delicious. Like, I'm trying to get in that brainstem. So that to me was terrifying, is to think like, I mean, like, if you can't see us because like you're not watching it, you're like listening to the podcast and like not watching, or you just have it in your ears, like, I know, like, I'm a plus size girl. I love that I'm a plus size girl, but I also know that if someone's chasing me, there's only so long that I can run for. So if zombies can run and they don't get fatigued, like, listen, I get fatigued. I'll run, even if my life depended on it. Like, I might run for like a mile, and that's like pushing it. After that, I'm like. And then after that, I'm dead. Like, that's just terrifying to me. Like, I can't keep running like they can. So that made it just so terrifying to me and made it super scary. So those are my top 3.
Yeah. Really good.
That's scary. Okay, I'm not gonna sleep tonight. And it's not like I don't have to wake up early tomorrow either. It's not gonna sleep.
You don't need to sleep.
I don't need to sleep.
Sleep for the week.
Give me everyone's coffee. I don't want to. I'm just gonna like sleep with an axe in my hand. Just like waiting.
Just in a corner.
Just
And just anytime you walk anywhere, you're just gonna look around the corner like.
I already do that without even watching like scary movies. I'm just so paranoid.
Really?
I'm really paranoid.
Okay.
I'm so paranoid.
Yeah,
I know.
A little bit there.
I like to believe that I would know if someone was standing directly behind me, but in all actuality, I probably would be extremely just like, la la la, living my best life.
Yeah, like it wasn't until like I started watching like creepy stories of like people's random encounters of like just strangers and stuff like that. It wasn't until I started listening to those and reading stories, like actual real life accounts, that did I like even start to be more aware of my surroundings. Yeah. Because it's just so terrifying. Like, you never know what can happen. And it's just really good to be aware.
That's why you gotta look around when you're walking. Don't be on your phone while you're walking. You gotta look around.
Well, that doesn't even matter. Like, if you think about, like, Criminal Minds, that's, like, all about serial killers. And in those ones, you have, like, an episode where it's, like, the guy is going after her because they had a one chance encounter. Then you have this man is going to kill her because she cut him off in traffic. Like, it's literally anything. You can't be like, oh, don't be mean to people, because if you're too nice to someone, then they fall in love with you and they kill you.
Yeah.
And then if you're really mean to someone, then they hate you and they kill you. And then if you bump into somebody, it's like, we touched, I'm in love, what's happening? Why don't you love me? Random stranger, and then they die. Like, there's just nothing you can really do. I think that's terrifying to think that there's just someone out there who's just like, I smelt her perfume, and now I must wear her face.
Oh my.
Like, there's people out there like that.
They really are. It's creepy.
There is.
But I like ghost. I like ghost stuff. That's like that's my thing, dude. That's why, like, for my movies, I picked this one movie is called The 13th Ghost. Mm-hmm. It's basically about, like, this family who inherited a, like, fancy mansion that their uncle had built and was living in, and he died, obviously, and so they inherited it and they moved in. But what they didn't know was that the whole house is supposed to be designed to, like, hold ghosts. So there's 13
I've seen
of them.
that one.
So there's 13 of them, and then, like, all the doors and walls shift, so it releases, so, like, each, I don't remember what the hour was, or how long it was, but each, I'm going to say an hour. I'm not positive that that's right, but I'm going to say an hour, so, like, each hour a door opens and releases a new ghost. And each ghost, the thing that fascinated me was that there was a story behind each ghost.
Oh, I seen this.
And
yeah.
And so, like, I guess there's supposed to be, like, the sacrifice or something to unlock, because in the end, they're not going to completely spoil it, but in the end, there's supposed to, something's supposed to happen where they all have to come together to, like, set themselves free or something like that.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's a really good story. I recommend it. It's pretty scary, but it's also a really good watch, just story-wise. Mm-hmm. And I think that's why I enjoyed it the most, because the story was just so good. And it had a slight backstory to each character, or each ghost. And I thought that was really cool.
Yeah, it's a good movie.
Yeah, it's a good movie. And, like, the whole house is made of glass, and it's beautiful. And I'm like, oh my God, I want to live there. But then there's ghosts, and I'm like, no, I don't want to live there. No thanks.
I just have a fear of houses that are fully glass, or houses that are just, like, you could just see in them. Cause especially with the idea of, like refraction of light and, like, reflections and stuff. Like, I can't see you out there in the darkness, man in the bush. Like, I just can't do it. Yeah. I can't see you. You can see me. And I'm just looking at myself, like... and you're just over there like, So, you know, it gets really creepy to me.
Yeah. So my second movie is actually Paranormal Activity. I think it's one of the coolest movies I've seen, because you don't necessarily, it's like, it reminds me a lot of, like, the paranormal investigations and stuff that go on, like, in the Travel Channel and some other channels, like, I think it's a Sci-Fi Channel used to do it too. And so you're basically getting, like handheld cameras type of film that I actually really enjoyed before. I was like, ooh, it's kind of weird. There's a lot of movement. It makes me dizzy. And I was like, don't like that. But but then after a while, it started to actually become really interesting how they shot it in, like, night mode and all that stuff, and the story behind the demon in the house was really cool. I'm sure a lot of people have seen this movie, because it came out. It's pretty modern. Yeah. So, but yeah, like, this demon terrorizes the couple that live in the house, and it's because of the girl, and she's
it's
like,
always the girl.
Yeah, I know, right? She's like this like a sacrifice or something like that, or she was supposed to be promised to this demon, and so she gets terrorized in her house, and, like, it just goes down. Scary stuff, but you never get to see the ghost, and I actually like that. You only see its shadows. Like, that to me is, like, a lot more realistic than like actually seeing a creature or, like, a demon and stuff like that. Just hearing noises and like getting touched, or just, like, the possession in general. That's a lot more interesting to me.
Just getting touched, eyebrows. I mean, how do you run away from things you can't see?
Yeah, exactly. That's
you
way
run
more
in a
frightening.
Circle. Just run in a circle. Like, I can't make it. Oh my god.
And then your last one.
My last one is this movie called Rose Red. And it's basically about this house that was built way back in the 1920s, I'm going to say. And so the house, it remains dormant for years. until this like paranormal group. They're not necessarily a paranormal group, but they get brought together to do a paranormal investigation because this guy was like super obsessed with the house and it's the lore behind it and just the sheer fact that so many people died in the house. And basically his theory is that the house is alive in its own way, and it purposefully like separates people to like basically kill them and take their souls. So each soul is trapped in that house. And it's this huge mansion, and the house is demanding to keep building. Like they want people to keep building the house to make it bigger and bigger and bigger, and just to trap more and more souls. And it's really scary, but it's really good too.
What's the name of that one again?
Rose Red.
Rose Red.
Yeah, it's a Stephen King book.
It's
a Stephen
there
King
you go.
book.
That's where it is. It's
Yep,
Stephen
there we
King.
go.
It's Stephen King. The king himself. The king himself.
It's a book that was made to a movie, and it's really good though. It's like the little girl that's in it is like creepy as hell. She's got like autism or something. There's something wrong with her mentally, but she sees ghosts and stuff. So like she becomes like this beacon for all of the ghosts to come to her. And stuff
That
like
would
that.
be like my worst nightmare as a child. It's like, come to me,
I know,
ghost.
right? But like she was like super like, oh hi, you guys are my friends, and I'm like, no.
You're like, but you don't have a head. It's okay. Like your jaw's backwards, whatever.
I don't judge.
No judgment.
No judgment, man. No judgment.
That sounds really good, actually.
Yeah, it's really good. I recommend it.
My best friend's a ghost. It sounds like a teenage show. Like my best friend's a ghost, and like they go to high school together while her like best friend is like secretly a ghost, but like no one can know, so she can't touch anyone.
That'd be a good show, actually.
Just
I'm
like,
pretty sure
it's like,
it's
I'm
like
gonna kiss you now.
Nope.
Nope. Nope. Just grabs like a pair of fake lips. Just,
But no true love can touch me. No.
oh.
Not like that.
There's already a movie called Ghosts. It's
Oh.
romantic.
It's romantic.
Swayze.
Lord. Okay. So the three I think are scary movies, because I don't watch a lot anymore. I play a lot of scary games. I don't watch a lot of scary movies because I can't control what's going to happen to the main character next, but I control what I want, except for when the game cheats and I can't. But, so one of the ones was me and Tammie's favorite is Train to Busan, which is on Netflix. If you want to watch it, came out in 2018. It's set in South Korea, and so it's literally about a zombie apocalypse on a train. It's literally the train to Busan. And just the whole time, they're just, like, stuck on a train. And it's about this dad and his daughter. And he's not there for her that much. I'm not going to give you too much details, but he's, like, trying to just bond with her on this, like, trip. And then all of a sudden, like, this girl who's infected goes onto the train. And that's how it all starts. And they meet this, like, pregnant lady with her husband who's, like, he's a wrestler or something.
He's amazing.
He's amazing.
I love him.
He's so amazing. Like, I don't know where he gets his strength, but he ain't afraid. I think it's just a dad kicking in him. He's like, I gotta protect my family kind of thing.
Listen. He could get it. He could get it. Like he could get it.
He can get it. And it's just so interesting because, like, yeah, it's zombies. They don't really call it a zombie in the movie, but they do say, like, it starts with, like, the letter Z or something like that. Like, it's saying, like, oh, like, they were like, there was, like, government officials talking about it, and they're like, something Z. And they're like, and then someone's like, zombies. And they're like, shut up.
No.
But it's really cool because you also follow, like, a high schooler with, like, the love of his life. And it's really good. But, yeah, these zombies can run. And, I mean, they don't run fast, but they can run.
But then it's also the fact that they're stuck on a train. Like, it's not like, oh, I can just keep running forever.
Yeah. No.
It's like, no, there's this train, and it's full of people, and then this train full of zombies, and this train with your wife. Like, what are we doing?
It's like you're on this side, and then everyone else is on this side, and then just zombie. Random empty cart, zombie. Yeah.
What the
And
heck?
it's just so crazy.
Why would they have them on there on the train?
Because it just took one infected person.
Yeah, they weren't like the zombies weren't
Yeah.
like they weren't like, okay, zombies, everybody get on the train.
Yeah, like, let's go.
Like everybody was a human, and then
one girl got on, and it was scary because like the little girl was like looking at the conductor, and it shows it in the Netflix preview. She's looking at the conductor. She looks away for 1 second, and he gets jumped on by a zombie.
Whoa.
Like it just started happening right when they went onto it. You will cry at the end. You will. You don't think you cry at movies? This movie will make you cry. So I recommend that. It's on Netflix. It's really good. Watch it in the daytime so you have time to recover, not just from the scariness, but from your emotions.
your emotions. Yeah.
Emotions.
You'll need a blanket, a box of tissues, and some gin.
And some gin. Lots of that. And then there's another one. I decided to switch my order.
Oh.
But there's one movie. It's also based in South Korea that my friend made me watch a long time ago. It's called White.
Oh, I've seen that one.
Yes.
Oh.
The one with like it's about Korean pop stars.
Okay.
And like there's a girl. The band was called White. And they had it was 4 of them. One was like, they were trying to find which one was going to be the main focus. Like, they always have that one person who's the main focus. And, but she died, one of the ones that was most popular. And they don't know if it was foul play or she committed suicide. People said she committed suicide, but whoever was wearing the white wig was cursed some way, or they quit, or they leave, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So there's these 4 new girls, and they were just starting, and they were trying to also do the thing where one person would be the main, like, star of it.
Yeah.
And so, like, I don't know how she got into it, but she's, like, so shy. She's quiet. She's very nervous all the time. Mm-hmm. But she gets the part. And
because nothing says pop star like shy, introverted, won't look you in the eyes.
No. And she would, like, every time they're like, oh, yeah, do this pose, she would be awkward to do it because she's just, like, she's scared about the white wig. So she's like, why are we doing this? Yeah. But, like, through the movie, it was, like, every other member of that, like, something happened to them. Whether, like, they got injured or, like, they left. It was, like, something happened. And, like, the main character is trying to figure out how to put this spirit to rest. Mm-hmm. And she's trying to figure out all these ways, like, oh, maybe if she, like, gets the spotlight she deserves, or maybe if I work through her, which is, like, saying, like, I must become popular for her. That's basically what it's saying. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, that's why I like that movie. Mm-hmm. It was really good. Very, very good.
Yeah.
Yep. Another one of mine is, like, I guess, like, it's not very, very scary, but it's very suspenseful for me because, like, monsters in movies, that's what terrifies me. Because, like, if you ever play, like, or seen Dead Space, the game, that was terrifying. Mm-hmm. Was The Quiet Place.
Ooh, that's a good one.
What's his name?
John Krasinski.
Yeah.
Mm.
John Krasinski.
I love John Krasinski. He could get it. He could get it. Especially in that movie. He could get it.
That beard. That was, like, it was very suspenseful. He glowed. He did.
Plus, you know the man's good with his hands. He has sign language.
I can't. Oh my goodness.
And I think I mentioned this movie a little bit in our last time we were talking about movies in our second episode. I mentioned a little bit of The Quiet Place. Okay. I was really in the Bird Box during that time. I'm still into Bird Box. But I know we're not talking about you.
Wow.
And your hate for Bird Box. No.
I just didn't like the whole thing that happened around Bird Box. Like, Bird Box, this is my small critique. Bird Box in general was overhyped. It was an okay story. It was filmed okay. I don't like back and forth from time.
Yeah.
That was the one thing I didn't like.
I do not like that in movies. I don't care how well it was shot. I don't like back and forth.
So you don't like The Notebook?
See, that's different because it was
that's
told.
The scariest movie
it was
of all.
Told differently. No, okay, so I don't really care too much for The Notebook. It is a okay story, but in general, it's not a movie I'm gonna be like, yeah, I'm gonna go watch The Notebook. But yeah, I don't like back and forths in movies. I just like it the way it's supposed to be filmed. Or out
straight.
I mean,
I don't know.
That's the only way.
But the hype around Bird Box is what made me dislike the movie in general. That's pretty much it.
I think things need to stop being overhyped because I just saw Bird Box because the previews and I was like, I want to watch it. And then when I watched it, that's when everyone started posting all these stuff about it.
Yeah, like the Bird Box
like,
challenge, all that stuff. No.
The Bird Box challenge, boy.
Just walk around with a blindfold on. You won't get hit by a car.
I know you won't get hit by a car.
Exactly.
Walk into the street.
Exactly. It was just a lot of that stuff was really unnecessary.
But I think that just happens naturally, especially in the age that we're in right now, where everything's on Twitter, everything's on Instagram, everything is. As soon as Vine died, what happened? TikTok appeared.
True.
Yeah.
Like it's just
true.
when one dies, the next one comes up.
Yeah.
Facebook died, Instagram's up, and just everything's done via social media now. It's the way people feel to connect to other people.
Yeah.
So I think that there's no way to get around things being overhyped. But
Yeah.
I also feel like there's also the underhyping, which is like when there's like great movies that come out and then that one person who's just super popular is like, that movie sucks. and then everybody else is like, you know what? She's right. She's so right. Look at her with all of her thousands of followers. She's right. She's got the public's opinion in mind. Because she's got millions of followers, that one.
She doesn't care about this indie company that's trying to make it big. She don't care. Or he don't care.
She don't care.
Don't care.
Anyways, off topic.
Yeah.
Back to Bird Box. Not Bird Box. Quiet Place.
Quiet Place.
Yeah,
But yeah,
Quiet Place.
I just like the idea of like you cannot make a single sound or you're literally dead.
Mm-hmm.
Like it was crazy, and then the monsters, like when they first fully appear, I was like, oh no, not today. Like
Run.
Run away. You can't run because you're gonna make a noise. So tiptoe.
Run on sand.
On sand.
Quietly. Don't breathe. Loudly.
You better learn how to hold your breath while you run.
Okay, I would just like to say that I watched that movie and instantly was just like, I'd be the first one dead. Like, I'm just a loud person in general. Or I'd make her laugh and then they'd be like, and I'd be like, ah! And then it's just like, well,
Stop screaming!
I can't stop screaming. He's looking me dead in the ear.
You got no eyes.
He's like,
Just the ear, I know.
I can hear you blink.
I'm not. But yeah, I like that. That was like my top movies. Yeah.
It's good. It's
So,
good. I like
yeah.
it.
So yeah,
I still haven't
y'all
seen
should-
it. I need to see it.
You haven't seen?
No, I haven't seen it.
You haven't seen?
It's actually
Quiet Place.
it's
I haven't
it's
seen
pretty
Quiet
good.
Place.
It's
It's on
pretty good.
Netflix, right?
You haven't seen
Quiet
Quiet
Place? No.
It's on Hulu.
But I got the DVD. I think it's on Hulu. Actually, it's on Hulu.
It'll probably be on Hulu.
Yeah, it's on Hulu.
Yeah.
It's either Netflix or Hulu nowadays.
I know.
So one of my favorite things, though, that I feel like comes from scary movies is, like, Elisa was talking about how she doesn't like scary movies because she's not able to control what happens.
Mhm.
And I feel like I enjoy scary movies because I can't control what happens. But also because, like, every now and then, I fall into the stereotype of being that person who yells at the TV. I won't do it at the movies because that's just rude.
That's very
But if I'm
rude.
in my house on my own, I'm like, listen, why are you walking in there? You obviously saw the crazy hand come out. It's like, honorary mention, The Conjuring, terrifying. And it was like, there's a scene where all the kids are asleep. She literally went to each child's room and saw that each of them were asleep. And then heard someone playing the clapping tag game and went down and was like, are you guys playing in there? How many kids do you have? Why are you going down there? You just saw that all of your children were up there. If I am in a house with all of my children, my husband is away, and I hear random clapping, like, I'm sorry, I'm going to go be in the room with my children until daylight and call the police. Because why am I investigating?
No.
Do I look like a superhero? Do I have a gun? Do I know how to fight? No, I don't. So it was really stupid to me, but then I understand that it's needed to keep the plot going.
Yeah.
Because if they were actually smart, then it would just end.
Yeah.
It would just end. It was like, the dog won't go into the house because there's demons in there. We should probably move. Okay, end of the movie.
Yeah.
So there has to be that little bit of like, this can't happen to me. I'm me. It wouldn't happen to me. I've heard it before. Can't happen to me. Why? Because I'm me. Like,
She wears a shirt that says "Cause I'm
because I'm me. But I just feel like that's the part that, like, really gets people is, like, it's that idea of no matter what you say, you're out of control of what's happening.
Yeah.
And you can say, like, oh, I would have done this differently. But in actuality, would you have actually done it differently? Because especially if you didn't know, like, we as the audience know there's something wrong with the goddamn house.
Yeah.
Like, we came into this knowing there's something wrong with the goddamn house.
They didn't get that sign on the house.
Like, they don't get the sign that says, like The Conjuring based on a true story.
I mean, not in reality, but in certain cases, it kind of does happen. Like, I mean, whether we believe or not, some stuff happens in reality. Like, you just can't control. And it's
so true.
Like, there's nothing that can stop it other than, like, you know, what you're believing.
Very true. Very
like,
true.
Using the powers that be, whatever you believe in can help you.
I believe in fairies.
I do too.
They keep knocking out my cereal and they don't clean it up.
They steal your things.
They do. I'm missing a lot of stuff. And
they're like,
I owe you.
This bitch don't even know I want it.
That's happened to me so many times where, like, I'll, like, have pencils out and then they get, like, just some go missing random and I'm like, fairies.
They just come in. In and out. Ninjas.
I need
ninjas.
Get away from me.
Oh, God, I can't.
But yeah, that's all we have time for today.
That felt like so short, so much shorter than the last time.
Yeah, it does
we
feel
said
like
that last time.
Did it?
And then it was like an
almost
hour.
50. Yeah, it was almost an hour. Last time we
Really?
said that after the recording, she was like, "It felt so slow," and I was like, "It was 50 minutes. What do you mean? Our videos are only like 30 to 40 minutes."
Well, I mean. When you go to coffee with friends, it always feels like
true.
a short time.
True.
And then you're there, and the Starbucks people are like, "You need to leave. You've been here for 4 hours."
4 hours.
It's like you're out on your lunch break with your friends, and you're like, "We're late."
I know.
Listen,
go back.
I got here at noon, and it's 11 o'clock at night.
Gotta go.
I really don't have anywhere to go because obviously I'm not going back to work. I've obviously been fired. But no, I feel like if the conversation flows really well and if you are really enjoying what you're talking about, and then, you know, time goes by really fast and
it does.
It just feels nice. It feels like it's fast.
Yeah.
It feels like it's fast.
Oh my gosh. This episode is sponsored by Elite 23 Shopping. Need some cool Halloween decor or some Halloween fashion?
Or
fashion. Fall.
It is time for sweaters.
It is
sweaters and leggings.
Sweater season. I'm so excited. I hate summer clothes. Yes.
Sweater weather.
Winter. If you want some new sweaters, some cool yoga pants, and stop by Elite 23 Shopping. Get 30% off your whole purchase with CBP. CBP. I did it right. CBP. It's all over here. It's in this
general direction.
In this general. Stop moving your hands. Not gonna animate everything. I'm not going to.
It's just flying around the screen.
It's a circle. That's the running in circles. Again, 30% off your whole purchase at checkout. CBP. Get it now. Do it.
Good.
And if you like what we do, don't forget to subscribe, like, ring the bell for more updates.
If you're listening through Podbean,
yeah,
follow. I do appreciate all the downloads, but follow. It means a lot to us too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And give Miss Tammie a little. I'm gonna put her Instagram in our little description box too. Yeah. To Micah.
And if you have any suggestions, you can comment down below.
Mm-hmm. Thank you again for joining us today. Woo! Bye.
Bye.